if you're on the call right now, you're getting to see one of the things that we do, Wayne and I both do, and it's kind of, Wayne, would you say this is, it's not way advanced techniques that we're going to teach today, but it's high level, it's a high level process that most agencies use, and you can get into this without being an agency level. So it's taken me a while to kind of wrap my mind around whether or not I want to do it in this direction, but there's a lot of pros for what we're about to show you in putting our marketing automation onto a VPS. So Wayne, I think we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. What I want to start with is I want to start with the kind of the overview of what we're about to show you. And I've kind of got a graphic, and at the end of the call, I'll give you this graphic so you can kind of keep up with us here. Okay. Here's what we're looking at and why you want to do this. There's two software pieces that we run, that I run, and Wayne's doing Jarvee, and he's got some other stuff running on VPS. And these two programs, I run SEO AutoPilot and Jarvee. They're both marketing automation tools. One is for SEO and one is for social engagement. They run 24/7, and they are computer hogs, memory hogs, and they're running all the time, and there's a whole bunch of output going out of the main computer. So the reason for setting up your automation tools that run like this on a VPS is, one is your broadband strength, and the second is you don't have to have your own computer, and somebody maintains the computer for you. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Is we have a VPS, and VPS stands for Virtual Private Server, and it's a server somewhere out in the cloud somewhere, and I think mine is actually in California. And there's several different, many different VPS services, and we're going to recommend, as we go through the call today, we're going to recommend different services for you for the different applications. So you actually manage it from your PC, and probably most people on the call kind of that you may have already seen this. So I'm kind of dumbing it down right now because this is what I had to learn fairly recently. But it's going to go through your router and then up to the VPS. Now, you could have a server, an additional server sitting on your side of the router. The problem is that server would be sending a lot of information through your router, and as a result, it slows down your broadband strength right here. And Wayne and I can both testify. We both have had servers on our side, and then we've had our standard PC or Mac that we work off of. And it tremendously impacts your broadband speed whenever you're running programs like this that run all the time, and they have multiple threads and multiple windows open. So that's one of the things. You do not want to put this on your main server. How do I know? Well, I put Jarvee on my main computer about 3 months ago, and I could not even do a video edit. There were so many things that it just completely shut down my computer to take over and run just the Jarvee application. So these two programs work. They hand off the output fairly well together. And you might, at some point in time, separate your Jarvee from your SEO AutoPilot. Now, SEO AutoPilot, it's designed for SEO and building your backlinks and setting up your tier 2s, your tier 3s, and doing it all on AutoPilot. And you can rank videos, you can rank your blog posts, you can rank your client sites. And the beauty about it is you set up the campaign, you turn it on, and you don't touch it. And it will just completely run through. And we're going to show you some examples today and some campaigns we're going to set up. And then Jarvee, the the thing on Jarvee, it is a social engagement tool. So you can put in your Twitters, your Tumblrs, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, personal profile, your pages and groups, and your Instagram. This is an Instagram social engager. It's almost as if you have a company, a team of social engagement experts just going out liking, sharing, following, doing everything that you would do socially. And in addition, you can do your own posting campaigns with an RSS feed, or you can do direct postings. And what I'm actually doing is I'm posting through Social Bee, Buffer, Promo Republic into these social accounts through their APIs. And then I come back and I like and share through Jarvee. So I'm doing a lot of work with Jarvee with my social posts, but also just being engaging and trying to build up my followers and subscribers. And we're going to show you some a case study. In fact, Wayne pulled an email PDF he received today. So, and both of these are set up for agency work, in that you can create white label reports on what you've backlinked to and what you've socially engaged with. And now the power of this is both of these tools use proxies. You can actually use your IP from the VPS, but if for any reason that IP gets flagged or tagged because you have so much action coming out of these, that it basically makes this ineffective. So what you want to do is you want to put a proxy layer in between. And what proxies are going to create is a separate IP address of where it's sending the data out from. So if it's creating a Twitter account, and let's say this proxy is in Denver, Colorado, then it's going to look like everything is Denver-based remote right here. So by working out of McKinney, I can go Denver, LA, and wherever the cities are right here. And what I'll do is I'll try to have 2 or 3 Twitter accounts. I'll have one Facebook, one Instagram, in this VPS, this proxy, and then I'll have a different set in this proxy. And I can actually rotate them around with Jarvee for social engagement. And then on SEO AutoPilot, I'm doing all my link building and all my account structures on a different set of proxies. So I'm about to show you how we kind of configure this. And Wayne's going to go more into the detail of this, but this is the basic structure to setting up your automated marketing system. And once it's set up, I'm going to show you how easy it is. It is truly a set it and forget it type system. So let's look at the next page. Now, these tools are not cheap, but they're affordable if you have clients, or if you have your own products that you're creating, or your own services that you're creating, or better yet, if you even have affiliate offers. So if you want to start ranking and banking, this is a great tool to have. You're going to hit them with backlinks and organics here, and then you're going to be able to go over in Jarvee and have social engagement, have social posts, and start building your accounts that way. And an active social account, both on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, it's going to get you followers, but it's more importantly, it's going to get you clicks to the sites that you want them going to. So here's what you'll need with SEO AutoPilot. One is you're going to need a VPS. There's several different VPSs, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But with the VPS is on SEO AutoPilot, you're going to need private proxies, and the minimum is 5. In the U.S., high proxies, it's recommended by SEO AutoPilot. In fact, it's the #1 recommended. And we got some links that we'll share with you at the end of the call here. Indexers, there's about 7 or 8 indexers that they recommend. Omega Indexer, that is the premium, that is the top of the line. However, it is, you are probably, in my case, I'm spending $20 to $30 a month just for Omega Indexer. Omega Indexer does a lot better job than Link Processor or any of those, but it is more expensive. And it's actually building additional backlinks to the links that it's indexing out to. You're going to need a text spinner. Highly recommend SpinRewriter for two reasons. Is one, you can use it in RSS Masher if you don't have the API club, but more importantly, you can use it to create original articles and just add the gold package, which is I think $49, to add it to your SpinRewriter. The gold package gives you 50 original articles written for you every single month, and SpinRewriter will put a pre-spun spin text with each article. So you could have, and for instance, I've got a client I'm working with, Adrian's on call, I've got some golf articles. So I created 10 articles, and they're all spun versions. So I've got 10 original content articles that I don't have to think about. Now, big content, you can also with SpinRewriter, you can use it with your big content. And SpinRewriter actually pulls an article. If you create a single article with SpinRewriter, you can pull it straight from big content. The only problem I have with big content is sometimes it's very dated articles. So with the gold package, it gives you some very current articles, and a lot of times you're going to get lists, and that's what I love is the 10 top ways to do something. It's building a quick list cycle for you. That's what it's called. So you're going to need a spinner, a CAPTCHA solver. There's several different CAPTCHA solvers they recommend. 2CAPTCHA is probably the best one, the least amount of errors on solving. It's got real people solving, but you do have to put up a credit balance with it. And then content source, when you create your campaigns, you need a post. You need something for them to post out on WordPress.com and all the social integration, all the tier accounts. So you'll need to set up a short post for like a Twitter process, and then a normal post. And the normal post can have images, it can have your video embeds, so it's a full rich content. So you want something that's readable. You want something that people might actually want to read with good titles. So you do want a content source to put in here. Now, it doesn't have to be written by an award-winning novelist or a journalist. You can get by with SpinRewriter Gold, big content. There's even Article Forge has a direct integration in with it. And the beauty, SEO AutoPilot can also create an article for you. And it takes a few minutes to create the article, but it will put spin text in there. But the article may not be anywhere related. I mean, because you're only using a single keyword to create this article. Whereas if you're going in SpinRewriter Gold, they require a minimum of 7 keywords to find the exact articles that are going to match up to you. So these are the apps you're going to need for SEO AutoPilot. And for Jarvee, you just need social media proxies. You need good private proxies. And in the US, HiProxies is a great one to use, and BuyProxies is another one to use. And Wayne, what do you use over in the UK? I think I got.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Buyproxies.org. But I have you have to have the dedicated ones. Obviously, you don't want anyone else. You don't want to be sharing proxies with anybody.
Yep. And
you get $12, I think. It's quite reasonable.
Yeah, I'm spending on my social media proxies. These are social media. I think they're residential proxies, basically, is what they're called. Meaning they actually are from a residential IP area. My 10, they're running me about $26 a month. I've got private dedicated proxies over here. They're running, of course, I'm using HiProxies for both of these. And these are just private dedicated. These are social media proxies. So these are running about $12 a month. So, adding all this together, you're still looking at, around probably $60 to $80 per month minimum on here. And on this side, you're probably looking at about 26, not including the cost of these programs. So if you add all these programs up, put a good VPS with it, you're probably at $150 to $200 a month. Now, if that scares you, this is probably not the right thing for you. But we want to, in these Geek Out sessions, is we want to give you, we want to give you a direction to go to in the future. Even if you may not want to do this today, this is a great setup for you to do SEO for clients, SEO for video ranking. And by the time it's all done, there's not going to be anybody that can outrank us on videos with VidPenguin and SEO AutoPilot, and doing the pre-URL setups that we do with video ranking. And in the case of Jarvee, I'm going full bore with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So back, I guess 4 or 5 years ago, I did VidMinions as a companion, as training on how to create your social networks in minion accounts, basically, for Browsio. Well, Browsio, it was good at the time, but it was a competitor to Jarvee, but it was slow. And even back then, with just a few accounts on each proxy, it was still slow moving in and out. The advantage with Browsio is you could have your Twitter account open, your Facebook, your Instagram, all in one Chrome tab, and you could close it and then come back to it, and they're still active, in each of the tabs. But what it caused is it took a lot of memory power to run it, and there were a lot of updates and integrations, and if you didn't keep up with the updates, Browsio just didn't work. One of the things I found with Jarvee is if you get it on a VPS, Jarvee is a champion. I mean, it just runs all the time. So before we go any further, let me show you what it is. And the beauty about this is you access it through a software tool on your computer, and it's on PCs and Macs, called Remote Desktop Connection. And so I have a remote desktop connection. And let me just see if I can move it over here. And so you put your computer IP address in there. And let me see if I can move this over here. Okay. And this is the screen. This is the VPS for us. So you can see I've only got these two programs on the computer, and I've got some Chrome browsers. So you could actually use this. And I sometimes I forget because it moves so fast. I forget that I'm actually on the remote. So you can use a Chrome browser in there and do everything that you can with your normal PC. Now, this is SEO AutoPilot, and hopefully everybody can see this. And if you can see the very bottom, I got 4 campaigns set up to run. And I've got, it's telling you with the Geek Out Fridays, what I'm doing is I've got all the videos for the Geek Out Fridays that I made them all public. And now I've got accounts being created automatically. I don't have to worry about account creation. It's making Web 2.0 blogs. So these are all my tier 1s. This is the domain authority of these sites, and username, password, and hopefully y'all aren't going into my accounts. Please don't go into my accounts is all I'm asking. So I'm probably gonna have to blur this, Wayne, before I go out. But it gives you the username, password, and the account. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna writeablog.net. I'm going to navigate to submitted URL. How to activate in RSS marketing strategies. Now this is a spun version, so it may not be the best in the world, but it also is going out to YouTube, pulling YouTube thumbnail images. And I kind of like this deal because you don't know really what it, some guys are pretty good at thumbnail images, but an image like this, you don't know what this is about. And then at the bottom is an actual video. There's an image. How do RSS feeds work? So you got a video embed in here. You got links. And if you click on any of the links, it's actually going back. It's built in. So it's pulling. This is one of my Geek Outs. So I have the only outbound links are to YouTube video. So let's look at one more. Let's look at maybe Shutterfly, Bloggers Delight. I'll pull site 123 and navigate to submitted URLs. Okay. And this is site123.me, smart blog. And, you know, this title was given by the SEO AutoPilot. 10 answers to your questions about review of auto blogging. So you can tell this is a spin text. Tips on how to activate in RSS marketing promotions. So this is okay. I mean, it's tips on how to auto blog, so these are H2 tags right here. These are probably heading 2 tags. And there's Neil Patel right there, and review of auto blog. So again, it's going to, the outbound links here are going to take you to the YouTube video. And this is a different YouTube video. I've got 7 videos in the rotation. So I'm just building backlinks to all these videos through social networks and through a tiered campaign. So you can kind of see, you know, the tier levels. And let's go back. So all these are sitting here ready, waiting to go. There are 24,000 tasks it's going to do, and it's done a total of 4,300 so far. And again, it took me about maybe 20, 30 minutes to set it all up, hit run, boom, it's done. And then what I'm doing here is I'm using all the accounts that it's already created. So it's not going to create any new accounts with this new campaign. It's going to use the ones it's already created, which is smart. It's going to use the same WordPress, same Tumblr, and it's going to make a post about the software walkthrough that we did for RSS Masher. And it's pushing only to one video. I set one up for Wayne, and it's on the schedule to run also. And again, it's going to run the same URLs, same social networks, so it doesn't create any new ones. It's going to use the ones it's already created. And I've got it all grouped in a folder, folders, Geek Out Fridays or RSS Masher videos. So kind of keep it organized. But as it runs, it's building backlinks. That's all it's doing. It's building H2 backlinks, H1 backlinks, and text links and anchor links in there. So this is a very powerhouse. Now, how do you compare it to Money Robot? Well, Money Robot is not supported as well as this. They're always coming out with updates, and support is very, very good on this. And they can actually dial in with the team viewer. If you click that, they can dial in and see what's going on. So that's SEO AutoPilot. Now, I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to close it down like that, just minimize it. And it's still running while it's down in here.
Before you go to the next one, Adrian asked about domains. Do you own those domains, or are they owned by SEO AutoPilot?
These here? These are all blogger type sites, WordPress.com. I own them.
That's what SEO AutoPilot's created them using their own domains or your domains?
These are not my domains. They're WordPress.com, but I have an account. Let's go back up here. It failed on webs. I have the username, password, and the email, so I can log in and create additional blogs inside of this myself. So yes, I own them. They created them for me. I don't own this site, webs.com, but again, I don't own Blogger. I don't own WordPress.
Yeah. It's created accounts inside them that you can now use forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it will come back and revisit these when they get to the end of the campaign. It will come back to the failed and try to log back in and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't upset me that it failed here on WordPress.com, because I've got another 24,000 sites that it's going to build backlinks for me. And this is for video ranking. You probably don't want to send all this power to your own domain name links. And before we get out of here, let me just show you what the campaign wizard is all about. Let's do something with golf. Adrian, golf news. We'll just call it golf.
Oh yeah, Garen said, I think he's asking if the blogs are shared with other SEO Autopilot users.
No.
No, they're not. No.
They are your accounts. Yes. So if I go into golf news, I'm going to say okay, and let's see. It's a new website. Okay. So here's the diagram. You can go into the diagram editor and you can make additional diagrams off of it. SEO strategy. They have different strategy networks. How hard do you want to push to this? So this is tier 1. Let's do this right here. And before we get started, let's go in here. Oops. I'm going to pull over a Chrome screen if I can. Okay, we're working with news golf, and I've got a template up. We've got a template up that has some lorem ipsum, but this is a live feed. So I'm going to click on this. If you'll notice, Oscar Cameron, he's all over the map, writing all types of really good content. So this is a blog post. So what I would do is copy that. That's what I want to send things to. So I'm going to copy that, Control C. And now I'm going to go back over here. And that's what I want to use. And I'm going to hit next. Money site. This is what you want to send it to. Links per article. Okay. And you can just randomize the links. And let's golf news. And you can spread it out over this. And I always like doing this is push this down to about 90% in around there. Push this up on your generics that it will backlink some of those keywords for you.
Golf news now is a good one. 880 searches a month.
Golf news now.
Yeah.
Now I would spend, if you were asked what do I spend the most time on, this is what I spend the most time on when I go into SEO Autopilot, is right here, is the primary keywords. Is I want the most competitive keywords I can, along with some easy keywords. And
golf scores is 201,000 searches a month.
Scores.
I'm just doing my, do you remember from a few last week or the week before? Keywords anywhere. I've just done a search on there for you.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I would do. Golf vacations. Let's put in, well, it's the golf channel too. Okay. So I would probably try to have in here maybe at least a dozen keywords, maybe 20 or 30. So we hit next. And I'm going to create an account folder for this. And I'm going to call it Golfing News. Now I'm going to create a separate folder for it because I want all the new social profiles I put in going in Golfing News. So if Adrian says, Damon, send me some more link juice, I'll have a folder ready with accounts created. Create new accounts, presets in there, select the profile. Now you can use your own Gmail if you want. I'm going to hit the default here. Actually, I'll just use this. This is an account that SEO Autopilot has that I'm letting them manage the email. I don't even want to touch anything. So this guy is going to create accounts with new usernames and emails on it. So we'll hit there. Okay, now this is where you would need your article. This is your short text. And this is your post title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate titles. They're pre-spun titles. I'm going to capitalize everything. And come down here and spin out some titles, tags here. Golf news. Type bar in there. Now, I need an article. I can generate an article using this. But instead, remember I told you about the gold package? Oops. Let me go back to clicking off screen. And I did this yesterday in my SpinRewriter account. Now, I've got 30 credits remaining for the month. So to do this is you would just type your keywords in and select the number of articles you want. I went with 10, and then request pre-spun articles. So I've got set up for golfing. So what I'm going to do is hit download. Now, this is the beauty about it, is golf and how to optimize. Okay, this is interesting. Planning a senior golf vacation, the perfect golf swing. Adrian, which one would you want here? I mean, it really doesn't matter. What I'm trying to do is find an interesting title, change the left, some great news, new golf tips. Okay, this looks good. Article with spin text. So I'm going to open it up. Okay, this is about 1,000, probably a 600-word article. So I'm going to hit. I've got it inside of, so y'all can see what I'm doing. It's all spun, so I'm just copying it, and I'm going to go back over to this and paste it in there. Okay. Now, what I want to do here is I want short text. This is PDF description, social bookmarking. So I'm going to come back over to, it's going to be short. It will fit inside of Twitter. So I'm going to hit Control-C to copy it. Go back here, paste it in, hit next. Short text is not valid.
Spin taxis.
And you see, sometimes I'm hitting Control-Tab to switch windows. What you have to do on your remote is click off of the remote to switch to your actual PC. So I'm going to go over to the SpinRewriter Gold.
If you've got a Mac, you can do the two-finger swipe, and you can throw the desktop to the left, which is really, really useful.
Okay. So which one?
I'm sure there's a Windows equivalent of that. I just don't know what it is.
Okay. Amazing golf tips that can, and it doesn't have to be the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this one up. Fantastic golf tips. So let's just use that one just for this example here. And then we're going to come back over here, paste it in there. Okay. Now, this is where you could pull your YouTubes in here. So I'm going to put maybe one or two images random, and I don't know what I want, so let's go golf tips. And number of images, let's pull maybe 7 images. So it's going to go out to YouTube and scrape images. And same here, I'm going to put one video position. I'm going to put it at the end. Golf tips, and we'll pull maybe 2 or 3. We'll scrape some videos. Okay, so you can also do Google embeds if you want to put some embeds. I don't have any set up ready to go right now. So what I'm going to do is you can preview an article right here. So it's going to take a spun article, 8 go-to resources about golf news. You know, it spins the title for you. There's an image, there's a video. Looks pretty decent. Now, and these links right here are going to go to your money link, and it's going to add in whenever it creates it's going to actually render the link matching feature. So the links that we have in here for the keywords won't be hooked up until we actually start it. So now I'm going to hit next. Okay. The CAPTCHA, I'm using 2 CAPTCHA indexer. I'm going to do mobile indexer, and I'm going to do a slow drip on it. And you can change the threads, how fast it goes, instant post. And I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. So I'm going to do maybe 2 posts per 3. Yeah, let's do 2 posts per day, and then hit fit. And you can also schedule them out if you want to set this up for future. So you can also have a secondary CAPTCHA service, which I would recommend. I don't have one set up on this one right now. So I'm going to hit finish. Campaign saved. Okay. So it's ready to go. So I can just hit start on that one, and it will start whenever the first one's almost finished. So that's all it is. I don't have to go in here ever again on this golf news. But the beauty about it is I can reuse those accounts if I want to. So typically what you would want to do is the first campaign, set it up as a video where you create a whole bunch of accounts, and then come back and use your smaller diagrams with the pre-existing accounts, and it will make it run a little bit faster. Okay, so that's all there is to SEO Autopilot. And you saw how easy it really is. I'm using SpinRewriter Gold to pull content in, and just use YouTube scraping and for thumbnail images and for video embeds. And it's going to go out and create all this for us. So
does it run those projects? Like if one project's going to only do 2 or 3 things a day, will it move on to the next one and get that going?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, it is literally running all the time. So with golf news, it's got 2,800 tasks it has to do. So it's probably not going to start. Well, it's calculating. It's already doing some stuff right now. So I'm going to hop out of here so I don't bother it. So you can see, guys, it's already starting to create a WordPress account and everything for us. So anyway, minimize that window. Now, let's talk about Jarvee. Wayne, do you want to take over on your Jarvee?
Yeah, it's up to you.
I'm afraid that we're going to your computer may not be able to run as fast as mine is right now.
Yeah, there is that. I'll just comment now, in and out when the time's right.
Okay. Now, Jarvee is designed for social profiles. Now, I've got this set up. I've got the 30 account package on Jarvee, and let me just show you. We'll just bring up just so everybody knows pricing. Jarvee has a strict monthly. Occasionally, you'll see some coupons for discounts on your monthly, but it's a monthly pricing. They don't have annual. They don't have lifetime. My account. Okay, account information.
Just below there, you can see there.
So here's the pricing. So I'm at the 30 account package. I'm at $49.95 a month. A professional plan, you get 70 accounts with it. Hopefully, it's not showing my PayPal account or anything. And the starter plan is $29.95. You get 10 accounts. So if you're just starting out and you just have a few socials, start with this. You could always go up or down with your next subscription on it. And it's also based on how many PCs. Now, this is running on a server. So again, I only need one PC with it. The proxy manager. I've got 10 proxies, and you can kind of see what I'm doing on the proxies here is I name my proxies. So I give them a tag. So Drive Gadgets, Wear It Art, Social Media, Vid Penguin. You can kind of see, So what I'm doing is, as I'm building them out, Lindsay Escobedo 12, a Twitter account, there's a tag on her social that says Busy Bee Films. And it automatically puts it in this social proxy for me. So I'm kind of organizing everything so I'm not overloading any of the accounts there. I've got on this first one, on this first proxy is the Wear It Art. And I had a Shopify store. Now I've gotten rid of the Shopify store. I'm going with a WooCommerce inside of a social blog. So I'm building this back up with RSS feeds for products, for fashion, for a whole bunch of stuff. And then I'm going to place my WooCommerce inside of this. So I've already got this social account set up for this. And as you can see, I've got 3 Twitters here. I'm probably not going to put any more Twitters on this. This has 2 Twitters, 1 Twitter. So I'm just spacing them out on my proxies. Okay. So let's go to social profiles. And Wayne, you're catching the questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. We'll test one. Does Jarvee provide aged social accounts? But it's important that I answer for everybody, really. You plug your own accounts into this in order to get them followers and engagement.
Yep. And so I've got 30. So right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like I've got maybe 18 of them in here right now. So I've got a little bit of room to put them in here. But here's how you add your proxies. And if you'll notice, there's a lot of stuff you can put in here. You can have, this is a beta. So if you're into TikTok, I haven't been on TikTok once, but there's a JV Zoo product or Warrior Plus product selling, and I'm not going to knock it, but I would say it's probably not going to be anything like what Jarvee can do. But Jarvee's going to like, share, follow, and its whole focus is social engagement. So if you're wanting to get into TikTok, this is the way to go with Jarvee, is grab it from TikTok. This right here, Instagram, is, I don't hardly ever get into Instagram. I think maybe it's a waste of time. But I'm also over 50, so Instagram is probably not high on my radar, whereas Facebook is real high on my radar, and so is Twitter, because I actually read these Twitter streams and different social profiles, and I'm on Facebook 8 hours a day. So I believe also Pinterest, it's a great way to bring in social leads through Pinterest. So these are the ones I like, and I have a few Tumblrs in here. I have quite a few YouTubes, but I'm not going to right now. I want you to hold off putting your YouTube accounts inside of Jarvee, because we get something really special planned in the next 4 weeks with your YouTube accounts, with a partner program that will go out. It will season your YouTube accounts, and I don't want to go into all the details right now. We'll talk about that in about 4 weeks. But yeah, leave your YouTube accounts off, but definitely get your Facebook, your Twitter, your Tumblr in here. And I would not put your personal Facebook profile inside of Jarvee, because if Jarvee goes crazy and starts liking, following, and commenting and engaging with people that, you know, doesn't match your own personal profile, it's going to change the outlook of what your Facebook is. So make your minion accounts. Put all your minion accounts in here is what I would recommend. So let's go on Twitter. Now, you can do an import. I tried it. It's not what it didn't work the first time. It worked the second time, but between the two trials, I was able to put in 5 Twitter accounts, whereas I could go in individually and do Twitter accounts. I could do 20 of them in the same amount of time it took to figure out the import feature. So this is where you could put notes about your account. So let's say up here, this is video lead machine. Now, I don't even have a video lead machine, but this is where you put maybe notes.
While you're doing that, there's a question from Adrian about how does Jarvee differ from the social post integrations of Masher? Well, Masher's posting content to your social accounts, whereas Jarvee is now trying to get people to those accounts to see the content that Masher put there.
Well, you can have multiple tags in here. Show proxy settings. So if you want to put your own proxy straight in here, you can do that, or you can use the tagging option. And then you would put your username, your password, hit verify account. Now, the first time I do it, I won't do it this way. I want to do it the safe way. So I want to do a manual login. And I haven't created anything yet for Video Lead Machine for that Twitter account, but I want to do a manual login, go through the verifies, the CAPTCHAs, the phone verification on the proxy that I'm going to be using.
I would recommend doing it that way all the time.
Yeah. So set your proxy, do your manual login the first time, and you can go ahead and put your username and password. And then whenever you log out of Twitter, come in and then verify the account. So that's probably the safest way of doing it. Okay. So it's very easy to do, and once you have it set up, then it starts doing its own thing here with your accounts. Now this is pending, but let's go into actions. I'm going to hit edit. So that's how you would, but if you want to go to the tools, let's see what we're going to be doing with this account here. Come on. What I'm doing here, this is follow back. So it's going to do an auto follow back. Let's do that. No, I don't have it verified, so it's not going to work. So here's the Twitter. I'm going to do a follow back. I'm going to do automatic likes. I'm going to follow. I can unfollow. This is an auto unfollow. Retweet, pin, or blog. So let's go ahead and do some auto retweets in there. You need to add at least one retweet source. So in here, you put in a dozen sources. And on your retweets, what you want to do on setting up, and I haven't even set these up yet. And I know Wayne has probably already done that. But if, let's say Alyssa writes, she is into, I would have a little profile in there. She's a freelance writer. She's a journalist. So I would follow journalists. I would maybe follow Fox News, CNN, ESPN, Huffington News, maybe even follow the whitehouse.org. And then it would do retweets off of those ones that you have set up for them. And it's a random situation of how it does. So you're building content through your retweets on Twitter. And you can see, it's actually working right now. Invite friends. What is this one? And they got tooltips right here also on what it does. Delete posts, contact members. So you can see it does a whole bunch going all the way across. And this keeps track of your followers. So I've got some good ones in here that have a lot of followers and how many people they're following. Okay. And Jarvee is easy to set up. I showed you the setup of how quickly it is to set up. To master Jarvee, you may have to watch a video, right, Wayne?
Yeah, they have thought of everything. There's a checkbox for everything. Don't do it between these times. Only do this amount per day. Only randomize looking for people between 40 and 70 people at a time within 40-minute gap. Whatever you can think of, you can do.
Yeah. And this is, you can tell what people use it for. Twitter and IG, which is Instagram for us non-Instagram users. But you could set up pre-made messages. You can manage your comments. You can do engagement groups. You can do a scrape on it. So this right here, you may have to watch a webinar or two on their Instagram setups in here. Here's your settings. So there's a lot, like Wayne said, there's check boxes for everything and limiters in here. Disable, there's, as you go through in here, you can see there's a lot to set up that you can customize it to exactly the way you want. And then you got your proxy, and then you got your account. And what to do posting is what you want is destination lists. Again, I haven't even set this. Well, I've got a few of them set up. Is I have a group that are just for my Drive Gadgets, my Shopify store. I got 4 profiles, 2 pages in Facebook, or 2 pages. But you could do walls, Twitter walls, profiles. So you can build a group of your accounts to that one destination. And then whenever you're ready to post, you just come over here to campaign, add a campaign, and it will post to your destination list. Now, here's something new that they've added is the like exchange. If you want to increase your likes and you're willing to pay a little bit of money for it, is they have a group of people that have turned this on, and they're all swapping likes between accounts, between Jarvee accounts. There is a social exchange that does the same thing. So this is, it's once you get really familiar with Jarvee, you definitely want to turn this on, especially if you're doing stuff like TikTok and LinkedIn, I mean, TikTok and Instagram, where you want to be very, very social out there. And guys, I'm actually going to get involved with TikTok because I've got sources of TikTok videos. I'm just going to repurpose and send through there. But, you know, again, it takes a little bit of time to set this up, but it is a set it and forget it. I've got these social posts, they're running all day long. So you can see both of these are running at the same time, and both of them are memory hogs because they're sending out data all the time back and forth to the social networks and building accounts and everything. So that's why we run a VPS. Wayne, you want to take over the screen share?
Yeah. Yes, Michael. He's asked, are you running both applications on one VPS? Yeah.
Okay, you should be able to share it now.
Yeah, I've got it now. Now, this is a screenshot I did at 4:15 UK. It's now 7 o'clock. But this was quite interesting because I've got a Minion account. I've got quite a few on Jarvee, but one of them is building Tumblr followers because Masha's posting to Tumblr. So we want people to follow that account so that when we post, more people see the post in Tumblr, and then hopefully they'll click across and get to the website. But you can see here how it started off. We've got someone is now following you, someone else is now following you, and then yesterday we had 2 more, and then it's all started to kick in there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more people started following. Probably because Jarvee's, it may have liked something on their account and they thought, oh, who's this? And they've gone across to my account. One of these accounts may be a Jarvee, who knows, that's done a follow back, but we still want that. We still want these followers because Tumblr and Twitter and all those will start to give you heads up in their algorithms as you get more and more popular, more engagement, more followers. If you've got a Twitter account with 100,000 followers on it and you tweet something, you're pretty sure that they're going to put that into a position where people that don't follow that account are going to see it, definitely. But you can see it's working because I've got Tumblr followers all whizzing in. We've got Twitter ones starting to come in as well. So there's just a little bit of a screen grab of my email that came in today.
Yeah, Adrian asked a question. So we put into Jarvee the accounts we have integrated into RSS Master. Absolutely. Is the content for your social accounts is coming from RSS Master or Social Bee or Buffer or Promo Republic. You can do your post directly into Jarvee, but why duplicate what you already have set up if you've got RSS Master? Is we're putting real content, good titles, good descriptions, good featured image, and good video embeds in our socials. So now we're using that as the food, and this engagement is the friendships that we're building, or the social engagement. So this is what's getting us likes, follows, shares on the back end. So when you bring in a Tumblr account, maybe you bought some expired Tumblrs from Michael Bowes, we'll just add them into Jarvee and just let it go to town on it. And again, it is a set it and forget it type system. So are there any questions? And again, this is not a demo. It's not a complete full demo of how to use Jarvee or how to use SEO AutoPilot, because you need to go to their source, go to their YouTube channels and watch the videos. That's how you're going to learn it. I'm using the basic setups to go. I used Money Robot and what Ant Aladdin or something like that. And I've used SEO AutoPilot in the past. I try to make it as simple as possible for me because I don't want to sit there and create social accounts all day long. Now, I can use, if I wanted to, is I could take some of the accounts that are created in SEO Autopilot. I've got the username, password, and everything. Go over to Jarvee and add those into Jarvee. Any specific questions about the VPS or kind of the setup that we have? And I'll kind of go back to, yeah, good question here is, you should be perfect timing on the question. Adrian asked, what is the UPS specs, the cores, the RAMs, and all that? I am using the Green Cloud VPS, and again, I'm going to have to come back and change some of the, I'm showing passwords, so y'all may not get the review very quickly. I'm going to have to come in and change, put some blurs in there. But here's the specs on it. It is a Windows 2019 system, and it's a 4-core, 6 gig, 60 gig hard drive. And if I was to go to Zoom, okay, you got your budget VPS. I would skip this right here. They have one that is a Jarvee VPS, and it's almost the same specs. So I go into here, look at view plans, and I'm running the SEO 3. So it's $46 per month, but if you buy it quarterly, it goes down to like $40. If you buy it by the year, I think it goes down to $30 a month. So the longer term you buy it, the cheaper it is. But this is running. I checked with SEO Autopilot and Jarvee, and they said if you're running the two together, this should be enough for you. If you've got 70 accounts or more, you probably want to go up to 6-core. And the difference between these two is it's going to run more campaigns at the same time. And the bandwidth is unmetered, which I like. And it's got a 1 gig port going out to the internet for you. So it's got everything that you're going to need. Technical support with Green Cloud is pretty good. Most of my tickets I put in at the very beginning was because I hadn't run remote desktop connection in a long time. So the response was usually 2 to 3 hours. And they got back really quick and got me all set up. So I'm going to pull up the notepad here and give you the links, and we'll put this in the description box also. Let's see.
Scott asked, would you use the same proxies that you've used in one account on SEO and Jarvee?
No.
I wouldn't.
Okay, here's the links. I'm putting them in here.
Because if SEO Autopilot is going to go off all over the place, it's probably going to hit various other accounts that you're then going to try and season in Jarvee. And if it sees you're on the same IP, it's just a risk that you don't need to take.
Yeah, and the proxies inside Green Cloud, you certainly can use those. They're recommended by Jarvee, SE Nuke, which I don't know if SE Nuke is still even around. This is 30 HTTP, 3 subnets, 2 computers. So you get 30 proxies with this for $25 per month. So this is not a bad deal by any means. I use high proxies because Jarvee recommended high proxies as their preferred proxies. And because they have the social media proxies with Jarvee are residential proxies, less likely to get accounts banned. And if I'm spent all the time creating my minions and sending content to it, I don't want them to get banned. Yeah, Michael had something here. This is, in fact, Michael, I'm going to resend this out to everybody because it is, I've heard this in 3 different places from experts, here's what you need. SEO Autopilot needs dedicated private proxies. Jarvee needs residential proxies. So you got private proxies, you got social media proxies. Don't buy that shared proxies. That's just junk. You could skip all these. So private proxies are good for SEO Autopilot. social media proxies are what you want to use for Jarvee, or residential proxies is what they're sometimes called. And going into Jarvee, I'm just to see if they have their recommendation and recommended proxies. I just went to what they recommended, and I started reading through everything, and I did some additional research on what the best proxies are, and I was looking at price also. So their recommendation is high proxies. So I used what they recommended. And this was created in July 2017, so they haven't changed it since then. I also went in here.
Yeah, must be good then if it's lasted 3 years and they haven't changed it.
So recommended VPS. There are free VPS that you can use. I would not recommend it. They're free, and they're through Google, and I think Amazon has some free VPS.
No, that's kind of telling people what you're doing, isn't it?
Their recommended VPS, they tell you about the free one, and it's a Windows. But if you're going on Jarvee, if you're doing up to 50 accounts with a VPS, you need a 4 to 6 gigabytes of RAM. 100 accounts, you need over 8 gig or more. 100 accounts or more, you need 16 gig. So they've already done all the research for you. They've been around since, I think, 2011 or 12. So just go with their recommendation. The setup for the Green Cloud one is a lot faster and easier. You make payments and wait for the VPS to be ready. It takes about a day and a half to get your Green Cloud set up. But Green Cloud, I'm so impressed with Green Cloud about how fast it is. And of course, you want a Windows VPS. I like going with what they recommend. So Jarvee recommended Green Cloud. I went with Green Cloud. And the funny thing is, I called Michael Bose, who I trust because he has a lot of servers out there. He said, go with Green Cloud. This was before I even went to what Jarvee recommended. And I talked to Jeffrey Evans at one time, and he said he uses Green Cloud in the US. So he's over in the Philippines, but he's using a Green Cloud VPS in the USA to do a lot of his list building. So anyway, you've got all the recommendations in there, what we recommend as far as product. They're straight from what the or what Jarvee and SEO AutoPilot says. Anything else that we could show you? To get the programs on here, I just went to Chrome. I downloaded the software inside of the VPS and set it up. So just think of VPS. It's just another PC sitting on your. It's not sitting on your desktop. It's sitting somewhere in the cloud. Walt asked, do you have a good source for aged social accounts? Walt, I wish I could say yes to you. Is I've tried 3 different sources. The only one I haven't tried is Michael Bose. He's selling aged Tumblr accounts, and I've heard that gets some really good traction. Is your aged Tumblr? I just haven't bought any from him. The 3 sources I bought aged Twitter accounts from, I've bought a total of 30 Twitter accounts, and 2 of them are still good after 2 months. I can't even recommend anybody on Twitter.
If you've got the time, just create them yourself.
Yep. And Garen said,
if you've got a VPS, then you can mix it up. As long as you remember, you can go onto the VPS, which will give you a different IP and a different location. And you can create some more accounts from there. But remember to always go there when you access them, just to keep it congruent.
Yeah, in fact, this is the easy way to create your accounts. You got residential social accounts, the best ones that you can. You come over here to social profile, and what I'm going to do is on video lead machine, I'm actually going to put in the proxy that I want to use. I've got 10 of them in there. I'll put the proxy in here. I'll do a manual login, and I can create a Twitter account. But while I'm in here, is I can browse inside of that once I set the proxy up, and I can create Google accounts. I can create a whole bunch of accounts in here. And this is how you would do it, is once you set your proxy, then you'd hit login or sign up, and you can create your Twitter account inside of the proxy.
Yeah, I did that. I've got some that they live in France.
Yeah, and that's the cleanest way because you're not changing proxies. I used to set up all mine on proxies, on shared proxies, and inevitably all those minion accounts have gone away. Browsio had dedicated proxies that I had put in there, and when I stopped paying for the dedicated proxies and went to a shared proxy system, all those accounts went away. So you've got to be conscientious of how you're building these accounts if you want them to stick around. If you want real vid minions, you're going to have to invest in some proxies. And again, put your proxy information, manual login, and hit browse. In fact, if you do that, you open browser to log in, and
Walt's asked, how often do you get them banned? Well, if you're really careful with your proxies and you do them how we've done them, they don't get banned.
Yeah. And you can sit here and go enable, and then you can just type in google.com or whatever to set up your Google accounts. And you can fill login information, so it's actually pulling from your Jarvee account, or you can just set it up manually. And that's what I would do, is set up manual accounts through this way. And what I'm using is my Google Voice. Now, I've got some Google Voice. I've got probably a dozen Gmails that I use on my own PC. So I go to Microsoft. I go to Firefox, not Chrome. Go to Firefox, and Firefox is not going to, hold your hand to the fire which Gmail account you're on. So I go to Firefox and I type in voice.google, and then I choose which Gmail or which Google account. So I've got the voice Google setting on my desktop, and that's what I will verify these Twitter accounts on Jarvee, these new Twitter accounts as I'm creating. And I'll verify them with that Google Voice. And I recommend no more than 2 Twitter verifications per Google Voice.
And only if you live in the States.
Yeah. That is a USA deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't work. I tried it. I thought, I can't use it.
Yeah. Walt says Jarvee doesn't do anything bad for your accounts itself. Here's where you can get an account banned, is if you're doing something that a human wouldn't do. If you have an Instagram account and you're going 24/7 liking and following people and engaging, that's not what a human would do. So that leaves a footprint to that proxy, to that Instagram account. So if you're going to do Instagram, you need to be very careful and set it up, make it so where you go into your global settings. And for Instagram, you would set it up so that it goes from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening, and you're only liking and following maybe 10 people a day. So you can, this will run on, but you can control it. Jarvee has so much control over each of the accounts and each of the features that, just watch some of their webinars. It's the only thing I can encourage you to do. How often do you get your social accounts? I have not had any closed or banned. RSS Masher, I've had a couple of them banned, but it's because I logged in from different proxies, and I tried to do all my Twitter verifications when I bought the Twitter accounts. I did them all from one IP, and for some reason Twitter doesn't like that.
Good stuff, I said.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Or something.
Oh, that's what Alexa thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my Alexa. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, and if I'm doing some of your web builds, your DFYs, guess what? this is one of the features, you know, why I'm doing a DFY is I'm going to be helping some of those posts that I'm creating as original content by sending some backlinks. I'm going to do it slow. Yep. I'll do it slow enough, but it is going to get some social backlinking to some of the pages and posts that we're doing. So that's why I've got to do the full build out first, and then I'll have a page of money links that I'll send based on the keywords that were looked up. So guys, hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see you probably in about 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll have all the details. And just think API Club the whole time, okay? Wayne, thanks for joining us today on the call, and we'll see y'all in a few weeks. Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone.